give everyone 2 more minutes, that's it. They're only allowed 5 minutes to be late. So maybe we can introduce ourselves. My name is Alissa Lightman. I have a group here with Realty One at the Lightman Group, and today we're going to be studying a little bit about Paragon. This System 101 is going to be a monthly thing where I teach you one thing about one of the systems that we have with CCR. So whether it's with showing time or zip forms or any other system with CCR, we're going to be learning how to use it, you know, the one-on-one, how to, you know, go through the systems. This will be really good for new agents or agents that are coming from another association. You know, your program might be a little different, you know, you just want to be a little faster on figuring out where to go. So we're going to start with maybe introducing ourselves. We'll start with you. Okay, so I wanted to thank you all for coming. Hopefully you will learn something together today. If not, at least it will be a little refresher on what we already know. So this is going to be a little quick. Maybe follow me. If you have your computer, I would really have you open that up and turn on Paragon so you can follow me. If you have any questions, we'll leave that at the end so you can write them down here so you don't forget them. And then at the end, we'll do some answering questions and having a little topics. So the first thing we're gonna go through is opening your portal, your CCR portal. It should look like this. And with CCR, you have all these modules here, okay? You're gonna be using these a lot. So this one here is Paragon. That is your MLS access. And then you have Paragon Connect, which is your mobile MLS access. You will love, love, love this one. We'll study it and I'll teach you how to upload it onto your phone and have it working so that wherever you are, you can actually go in there and you can see seller disclosures, you can see documents, information, all that stuff. The CRS over here, the CRS over here is your Horry County data. Any data the county has from sales, from taxes, from insurance, from flood map, all that, and we'll go through that on our second class, I believe. Showing time, everything you gotta do with showing time, your market stats. This is really, really important and really cool if you have sellers or buyers that you can educate on areas, price ranges, you know, where are we going with the prices, especially right now where the market is so insane. And you have zip forms here. Now with Realty One, you have DigiSign. If you're already using DigiSign, you don't really need this, but you also have it as a tool from CCAR. So if there is maybe a form that you need and can't find at DigiSign, you may want to go in here and look for it.
Excuse me. I'm using that loop. Can I also, you know, download forms there and transpose it in my loop?
Yes, so that loop, DocuSign, I believe, you connected with zip forms, and then you go to zip forms, and once the e-signatures are ready, then it goes through that system for signatures. So you learn the basics with me, and then whatever you decide to do in the future is kind of your thing, right? So let's start with Paragon. We want to click on that. So you're gonna notice that whenever you open your MLS access, you're gonna have messages here. I advise you to read them and mark them as read, or leave them if you don't have time, you can get back to them, because a lot of times CCR wants you to know some information, whether something is changing, a correction is happening, you know, maybe a violation has been, you know, occurred. So you want to know this information for yourself too. But you can either click close or click away from it, and then you have another one. And this is your user preferences wizard. You can go through that. It'll teach you how to put in your clients, and we'll go through that just a little bit. So, all right, so this is how your home screen is gonna look like. I want you to see just a couple of things that are very important to me. For example, you have all your contacts up here. So if you need to call CCR, if you need to call Paragon for an issue with your system, if you need to call LLR for a licensing issue, HomeSnap for some technical issue, showing time, you can call them here. If you can't figure something out with showing time, you can call and ask them. You got your lockbox, your list hub, your zip forms, all these are in here for you to contact. So have that in here. You don't have to look for them, Google them, or anything like that. And you also have your legal hotline here as well. Okay, so if you feel like you're having a legal issue, you may want to call this number and talk to them. Okay, and all these services are free for you. Now over here, I want you to pay attention to this part here is the market monitor, and this should be at 1 day. You as a real estate agent should be looking at that every day, if not twice a day. Hey guys, thank you for coming.
These days it should be more than that.
So you need to be looking at that every day, if not twice a day, 3 times a day, because everything that comes on the market, by the time you get home or by the time you get to a computer, it's already under contract, right? And if you're working with buyers, it's harder. So you want to go ahead and make sure it's 1 day, and you also need to go to this settings, the edit widget right here, and make sure that only the properties that you want to look at, that you want to work with, are in here. That'll be easier for you. That way, okay, I'm only working with residential, or I want to see everything, then you just keep it all blank, right? And the way you do that is you go to type, and it'll list all the properties for you. Say for example, I don't want to look at both, okay? And that'll show you everything that'll change in the market on daily basis. So let's just save that. And see, today we have 39 listings. So you can click at the new, and you can go over these new listings and look and see, okay, do I have any buyers or any clients that may be interested in this, or did anything change in my seller's neighborhood, for example? Something new happened, okay? So let's go back here. You also have the back on the market. Okay, so you wanna look at all these. You wanna probably spend maybe the first 15-20 minutes of your life every day as a realtor, looking at that and making sure that you know what's going on in the market. As a new agent, I would really advise you to go and look at these properties. At least look at where they are, right? You have your expires here. So if you wanted to go after expires, you have that as well. And you can change it to however many days you want. Say, you know, you've been a little lazy this week, or you've been on vacation, and you want to see what happened in the last 5 or 7 days, you would just hit how many days and hit refresh. That's a lot to go through. So yeah, I'd really advise you to do it on a daily basis. Go through these lists. This is gonna be your main dashboard to look at as a real estate agent, so you know everything that's going on in the market. All right, so we got that. Let's go to search. Oh, before I do that, just wanted to tell you now, here on the bottom, you got your messages, right? That's messages from CCAR. Those are your messages from MLS, okay? Down here, you have your last quick search. I don't really usually use this. If I have a quick search, you can go up here and put in the address or the MLS number, and you'll get it. So say, for example, I wanna look at a property that just went under contract, or someone is asking me, you know, let's just say this condo right here. Now, if I wanted to see everything on that street that comes up, I would click at the listing right here. Instead of just clicking at that one address, you would click at listing and the number of listings there, and all of them will pop up. And in here, I wanted to show you how I have it set up, and you can have it set up any way you want. So for me, for example, I want to see the photo, I want to see the MLS number, I want to see the status, and you can reorganize that by just clicking on it. So now it's showing me the pendings first, okay? and then you have the solds, and then you have the closing date. If you wanted to, closing date now doesn't always organize with status. So if you're looking at closing date to see comps for the last ones that sold, you want to double click on that. See here, it shows you the old ones. Now it's going to show you the newer ones. It should. Yep. Now it's showing you the newer ones. So next you have your asking price, your bedrooms, all that, and the way you want to customize it, it's really up to you, but you would go to customize over here, and from customize you would choose fields. And now you get to see all the options that you have available. The options on the left are all the ones that are available but not selected yet. So you want to go through them. Say for example, you want to print this out to show your seller, you know, what sold last, when did they sell, how did they sell, right? You guys follow me? Okay,
Yeah.
good. So you can either, you know, scroll down, or you can say, okay, well, I want them to know what the recording date is. Well, we have the closing date there, so that's good. We want them to know, we have the heated square footage, the bedrooms, the asking price. Oh, sold price would be important, right? Would you think?
Yeah.
What else do you guys think? I would say sold per square foot would be important, right? We want to say how sold, to see how many sold conventional, how many sold cash, right? Some of these, if you're looking at condos, for example, and they are rental properties, you also want to check at the GRI, at the gross rental income that it's bringing. They don't list it all the time, but at least you get an idea if they listed that. Do you guys have any questions so far? Okay. Am I going too fast? All right, good. So gross rental income. All right, so now we have all that list here. We're happy with it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna save it. And you can adjust those so you can see everything. Let's see here. Say for example, I want the sold price to be right next to the asking so I can see exactly what it was. I want the sold per square foot to be right here, right next to that. And what you can do, if you wanted to remove the buyer brokerage, for example, you can remove that. You go right back to fields, under customized, and let's see, where is it? You can click it and move it back, or you can double click it. And you have to save it. If you don't save it, it goes back to what it was before. So just make sure that's done. Okay. So we have one withdrawn over here, and then you have all the solds that are with this address and how they are sold. You see here, conventional, cash, conventional, you know, and that's all time for that address. But say this was for this year, you're most likely, Mr. Seller, to get a what? A conventional offer, a financing offer, than a cash offer, based on this information. So that's one idea, you know? Not necessarily that you will, but it's most likely that you will, right?
Excuse me, if you, I mean, if it's under pending, cash or financing, will it show how much, because they have the asking price? Will we be able to see that?
I wish that's confidential information. That's confidential until it is closed, unfortunately.
Okay.
Now, in our market, some listing agents are nice enough, you know, if you're listing a property, you can call them and say, hey, where are you at in, you know, under contract? Is it close to, they can't give you the exact number, but they can help you and tell you, okay, it appraised close to this, and that'll help your listing as well. Or it might help your buyer put a better offer, a backup offer on it if it's, you know, if it's rocky, the offer that they have on it right now. I want you also to pay attention to the first part up here. You have the total listings, right? You have days on market, right? So when your client asks you, okay, well, how many days on average does it need to get closed. You can say, based on this information in the MLS, the average is 128 days, okay? So it's an average of 128 days. Now, this is based on this property here. It's not this market. But you can definitely look up a certain neighborhood and do all that. Also, you want to look over here, list price versus sold price. Average, 177 versus 165, okay? And don't pay too much attention to these numbers because like I said, this is not today's market. This is just a list that we just came up with, okay? So you want to look at these things and you can actually print it out to your clients. You can go here, print. Now, if you do the Control P, it's not going to print. It's not going to go anywhere and it'll look really, really funky. So try to do this. And let's just say we're going, it doesn't want to do it today. Perfect. Well, I might show you this a little later. But do you guys know how to adjust what it looks like before it goes to print? Landscape, portrait.
So now, if you want that set up like that, does it save it for every time you go there, or you have to do it every time you want to print it out?
If you change it, it'll change.
It'll save the way you put it there.
Last
and
time.
It'll be like that.
Yes, it should be like that. Now, there is a way to go through and do certain templates that you can apply to it. We'll do that in another one, okay? But it should, like when you save it like this, oh, we can't even do anything right now. Hello? Okay. All right, so we know how to customize fields. We know how to print it out, maybe. We'll do that next time. Hopefully it'll work next time, but we'll do it.
That opening comment message from MLS, there's like a problem with printing, and depending on the web browser.
There you go.
It's
So,
probably, that's what probably
Yep.
is.
it's been happening all day, so I was wondering if it's happening with you guys. So, okay. All right, so we've learned about the market, we've learned about these contact information here and our messages and how to go and use the power search up here. You can literally put any address in our MLS or any MLS number, even if it's sold, withdrawn, expired, doesn't matter. It should
How
find
do
it
you
in
get
here.
again to that power search?
Mhm.
Just go up, Which one did you click? For
Over
the
here?
Power search, yeah.
Yeah, we clicked here and then
Oh,
we
you
put
just
in the
click there.
address. Yeah, you just type in the
Okay,
address.
it will tell you power search, okay.
Just a little thing about that. If you spell the whole word drive or road, it may not find it. Just do the first two letters of street, drive, road, all that stuff. Let's see what else we got here. Square footage we talked about. Oh,
Correction.
okay. Yeah. All right. So just one more thing, if we go in here, we talked about GRI and other websites. Neighborhood information, emitting fields. Okay, corrected. Now, let's just say you're, in this address, it's active, and you found it, but you found it by chance, and it was listed at the wrong zip code, right? And you want that to be corrected. The agents may be busy, but CCAR may correct it a lot sooner or let the agent know and their coordinator would do it. So what you can do to make it easier on everybody is you can click the correction. You want to select this and you want to go to correction and you want to let them know zip code is incorrect. Zip code should be 29582 or whatever the mistake is. When you do that, you're helping the other agent and you're also helping your clients see that property if you have them in a certain search. Because as long as it's the wrong zip code, they may not get it, okay? What else is going on here? Oh, okay. So this one's good. Instead of going to, and you may know this, But instead of going to LLR to look for an agent's license, you can actually use the tools here. So you can go to membership, agent roster, and you can type in the name of the agent. Let's just say, who wants to volunteer? Let's see what my license number is. And you hit search, and it'll show you everything that matches. So it shows you my user ID, my name, the office number, and the license number over here. So you can copy that and put it on your contract.
Wait, how do you get to that window again?
Okay, let's do this again. So you're gonna go to membership,
Okay.
and you're gonna go to agent roster. Click on that, and here you can put in, you can go by status, you can go by agent name. If you're doing this for a contract, you're just doing agent name. So you put in their name here. Let's say you just put in the last name. That should pull up also. And you hit search right here. Guess there are two Lightmans in here.
Oh, that's the team.
Oh, the Lightman group, okay. Alright, so basically this is how you look for it. It's much easier than going through LLR sometimes, because you have to go through like 4 or 5 steps to get there. This is faster. Let's see what else we got. Associated docs. Oh, this one's cool. Alright, so let's go through this one. Now, you guys know that every property would have a seller disclosure, most every property. So sometimes if the seller has never lived in it, you know, he has the right to decline that. I've never lived in it, I don't know what's wrong with it, right? So I'm not filling out a seller disclosure. You may be into these situations and the buyer will just have to agree to it and, you know, do an inspection. Either way, just know that the seller disclosure is just a gesture from the seller to tell you what they think they know. Okay, so you always want to do an inspection for your buyers. But to find these documents like, you know, the seller disclosure, the master deed, the, you know, rules and regs, all that fun paperwork, you want to go to reports, and this is the old way of doing it. I'm going to show you 2 ways. So you want to go to reports, and you scroll down to specialty views, and in here you go to associated docs. And let's see if anybody, see, look at that. They uploaded all this stuff. Now this depends on the listing agent too. If they haven't uploaded anything, then you're unfortunately calling them. But you can literally just click on this. It'll open a new page for you. So just make sure that when you're working on an offer, when you click on different buttons, it might, if you don't open it in a new tab, it's gonna, this one's gonna disappear, it's gonna replace it. You guys follow me with that? Okay. So here is, what is this? Attorney at law, horizontal, okay, property regime. Do you guys know what a horizontal property regime is? An HBR? Nobody? Come on, somebody knows. I know you guys know.
Is it like a community that has like, it's not like a tall building, but it's like in,
Okay. You're going
it's
somewhere
a
with that.
community that it's like, I don't know how to put this, I don't know how to say these words, but it's not a tall building, but it's like a community
Okay.
area.
Yeah, not quite. Who else?
Quite know how to
No?
explain.
You don't own the property around it?
Mm-hmm. What else?
You only own what's inside the walls? I don't know.
Okay. So horizontal property regime is anything like a condo in a building, right? Or it could be a townhouse. Basically, you own the footprint of the house. That's all you own. Okay, horizontal. And there's usually an HOA, and you're paying that HOA as a homeowner. Okay. So, all right.
So it is a building.
Usually. There are some townhouses that is just 1 story. It's weird, but they exist. Not many, but they exist. But they're still considered, you know, a townhouse or a condo, and they're still considered a horizontal property regime, meaning you only own, this is the property, You only own this. You don't own the grass around it. You can't go out and build a kitchen out there. You can't put a trampoline and leave it overnight. You can't put a grill. Not necessarily, but you know, these rules you have to make sure. You have to call the HOA and find out. Okay, so what is next? So you can upload all these onto your computer, send them to your client, and have your client take a look at it or ask their attorney about whatever it is they want to know in the master deed or any legal documentation, right? Okay, there's another way to get associated dogs, which is this button here. CCR added this button last year, and that's really, really nice. I still forget about it every time, but it's there. It's this button right here that says docs, associated docs. And you just click on that, and that'll show you everything. Instead of going through reports, associated docs, all that stuff.
That's interesting, because I always get it from Actions.
What do you get it from Actions?
I get mine from Actions. On top.
Where at? Right here.
Yeah,
Oh, you could do that. Yeah. So this is where all your buttons are at.
yeah.
So you can hit Actions and you can go to all your buttons. You can go to your CRS, you can go to your map, your associated docs, your history, which we'll go through that in a minute. Okay. Good deal. So there's 3 ways to do that. All right, so we did the correction, we did the customization, the printout, we tried. You can save this search and name it something. You can save it to yourself, you can save it to a client and put in their information and have them, you know, get any updates on that. You can also email it, or you can share it by text. Okay, so you can, here it is. If you don't have your contact already in here, you get to add them. And as long as you have first name, last name, and cell number, you can send that text message with that property to them. So in the morning or at night, you're watching the market and you see this property and you're like, oh my God, this is the 30 minutes ago, we need to jump on it. You need to text it to them and then you need to call them, right? That's what we're doing. Okay, let's go to the next one. In settings, on search. Finding MLS documents. Okay. So MLS documents would be right here. You see that up here on the top? It says MLS documents. Any other documents not in CCR, but such as, let me show you here. Areas, for example. This one is really cool. An MLS map. This will show you all the area codes. See? So when you're putting in a listing or when you're doing a search and they want to look in 10C, like anywhere near Barefoot or anywhere near Carolina Forest, you know the area. You can go in here and say, okay, Barefoot Resort is 10C. So that's where I'm putting them. It doesn't matter which, community they want to be in. They just want to be in this area. Okay. You have Surfside zoning map. You can go here and look at it. So play with this, study it, play with it, find out what's what. I will tell you those zoning maps have been changing a few months, 2 months ago. The flood map or flood line has changed. So you always want to call the city or the county and find out exactly if it's, if any of that has changed. I think we did
Do these maps show you where short-term rental pockets might be?
Yes and no. Yes and no. It's a good question. So actually, I don't use this one for that. I would really go to GIS from here. Not from here, actually. That would be another website. Do you guys all have access to GIS? You know how to get in it?
What is
It's Horry County records of anything and everything about the parcel. So it could be permits, it could be flood zones, it could be whatever. Taxes, I'll add that to, next class, and I'll tell you exactly what it is, because I have it saved in my computer, and I don't ever have to worry about what the site is, what the address is. So, okay, we have time for some questions. Who has any questions? Anything you guys
I
wanna
have a
know?
quick question about the search. I know how to use the map for
Okay.
sections, but just this morning I was speaking to someone that wanted to buy land off of certain roads. So how would you set that up, or can you?
Exact certain,
Yes.
only this road and only this road, and they're not connected?
Right,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
any piece of land on one of 3 roads. Yes.
Okay, so in that case, you will have to do 3 different, well, how many rows does he wanna look at? So you wanna ask him how many rows, okay, you just want these, if there's one that is maybe half mile away or a quarter of a mile away, you don't wanna see it. Most people will say, no, I wanna see it. So you can actually circle that, and I'll show you how to circle it in a minute. But if he's really adamant, I just want this street, and this street, then you'll unfortunately have to enter those. You'll have to either get them on the map or put them under the street address. So let's see how to do that. So can you share with us where he's looking
Like
for?
501,
501. Okay, and what does he want on 501?
just a piece of land.
A piece of land off of 501, but not everywhere. So give me a little more information. so
It
we
just
can-
has to be right off of 501. He visually wants to see it from 501.
Okay, so let's see.
It doesn't matter.
So we're gonna go to land. And he only wants to look at actives, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now just to let you know, all active could be anything that's under contract as well, because that's considered still active, okay? Kick out clause, pendings, all that would be in here. All right, and let's say we do, and you tried the map and it didn't work? Is that what you were saying?
I was trying to do it all in one search. I think that was my problem. I was trying to put all these on one search instead of setting up separate searches.
So, in the beginning, you said you had 3 different roads that he wanted, and then you said it's only 501
And 544.
and 544.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So on a highway?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. For me, the easiest way for me is to go to map and save each one of them. So instead of all active, I will go active. And you would go to, he must have a certain area on 501 that he wants, right? Like, what does he want to do
He's
with
open
it?
to any area, but right now he's specifically looking at something in Conway.
Okay, Conway, all right, on 501, and, oh, wait a minute, where are we going?
So it's commercial land?
And he's,
It's,
yeah, is that,
manufactured, this particular one, but
he wants to put a home on it, a mobile home?
yeah, well, I don't know.
You
I
wanna
don't know
ask
yet.
him these questions?
Well, no, he
because-
said he's open to, commercial, manufactured, and residential lots.
So any lots,
Mm-hmm.
okay, if he just wants any lot and he doesn't care. And I wish I had a mouse with me here. But you would basically go in and, where's the Conway area over here? Here's Lawns. Right here. So you basically want to go through, and I know it's painful, but that's what you'll have to do. You'll have to go to draw, and you'll have to go and pick polygon, right? And you have to go in here and literally go by 501 all the way down, and when you're done with that, say for example you picked, say here, let's say you picked that area right there of 501, okay? And now you're gonna go back to criteria, and you wanna make sure that that is also still in Conway, just in case. Just in case it's outside of city limits. If he doesn't care, then just leave it. But if he does care and he wants it to be in city limits, you wanna make sure that it's
So
also
drawing,
in Conway.
okay.
And then you wanna do another one for 544, and then you wanna do another one for this. And I would copy myself on it. That way, as soon as it hits the market, if you haven't watched it this morning, or if it just came on the market and you're not near your computer, at least you get that email and you can see it and give him a call and say, hey, we got this one in contract.
You can do up to 3 drawings
In
in
one.
one map,
Yeah.
Okay.
in one search.
Mhm.
So, you know, if you did that section, then you could do the 544 section, and then do all those separate, and then do your run search.
And add
it'll
them to
bring
it and
up-
everything.
It'll do up to
Yeah.
3 in
Okay.
one within one search.
Yep.
Thank you. That's
Yep.
good.
Now, sometimes if the computer, if this system doesn't let you do more than one search, that's okay. You can just save it and go to the next one. But that's a good point. What else do you guys have? Any more questions?
Is there a way to put a search in Paragon, like Real Scout gives us, where you can, where it automatically send them the listings? You know how we have to set the Real Scout, is there a way to do that in?
Yes, there is a way to do that here, and what you would do is you would go to contacts, and you would go to add a contact, and you would put in their name. The most important thing is to make sure that you put in their email, and you click that it's a primary. Say for example here, let me set you up on something, and then you can see what it looks like. Okay, what is your first name?
Peggy?
Becky?
Peggy.
Peggy. Peggy. Okay, and what's your last
Davis.
name?
Davis.
Davis, okay. And what's your best email address?
Peggy at Magnolia Living Group.
This is ingenious, you just gotta buy her. Look how good she is.
right. Magnolia
That's
what?
how good she is.
MagnoliaLivingGroup.com.
Living.com. Does that look right?
Yeah.
Magnolia. Okay. And then primary, okay. And what is your phone number?
843-877-2097.
97. Alright, so I wanna make sure I click that too, and I wanna make sure to tell the system that this is a cell phone. Hi, where are you?
Personal pager.
Yeah, right, so if it doesn't let you do that, just put it under here, where it says cellular, and you want to uncheck this thing, come on.
The
work
number
with me.
is different on the personal cellular, the number isn't right.
It's
No,
not?
the on the bottom, yeah.
Oh, it's missing something, 843-877-20,
Uh-huh, 97.
we're missing the 7.
Remove
Okay,
the
that's
one
why.
at first.
You put an extra
Yeah, an
one.
extra
Yeah,
one.
it
for
still
the
isn't right.
Did I?
no.
Oh my god.
Do you have your
Here we go.
glasses?
There you go.
Is it doing it now?
No, 7 is.
7.
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay.
here we go. Good, finally, we got it. Alright, if you guys can put, like when I first started, I used this. I didn't have a CRM, I didn't have any other system, so I used this to put notes, put in the source, put in any other websites, all their information, their address. You can put in also if you have an appraiser, insurance company, anybody, you can put anyone in here, right? And you wanna make sure you save it, because if you don't save it, it goes away.
And you got to
Associated
that by
property,
going to
not now.
Contacts.
contacts.
Mhm. Yeah, you go in contacts in here, and you can add a contact. You can also view your contacts from here, and manage your groups. So let's just say we wanna set you up on a buyer activity. So let's add a search, and let's tell it what the search is about. add new search, or load an existing saved search. So if you have a search that's saved, say for example you already have one that's saved for you and you want to apply it to them, you can pick it from there. But let's say you don't have anything saved and you want to start one, you're going to go to add new, and now it's going to ask you what type of property. So now if you want to search if they're looking for a home versus a condo versus land, they're going to be, you know, different searches. So let's say you're looking for a house. Residential, okay. All right. Okay, how fancy do you want to buy?
How fast?
How fancy?
Oh, fancy. I just do it like 400 to 500.
Okay, so let's do 400 as a minimum. You want to make sure that if your clients say, hey, you know, I don't want it more than 500, or I can't afford more than 500, that you do that you set them up for that. So let's see, and you want it to be, say, in Myrtle Beach?
Yeah, let's say Carolina Forest.
Okay. So Carolina Forest, and that should come up. You see here, so you'll get to remember what these codes are. But for now, you can type it in, and for the big areas like Barefoot, Carolina Forest, all those, they will pop up. So you have 24 properties. Now, do they need a 3-bedroom, a 4-bedroom, or doesn't care?
Let's say 4-bedroom.
Let's say 4-bedroom. Okay, so you want to go over here, you see the 4 bedrooms, and you want to put in 4 bedrooms. Okay, so now we have 11 properties in Carolina Forest. And what you want to do is you want to click search. Now over here, just before we move on from this screen, you can cancel any of those out. You can just exit out. Or you can clear all and start a new search over here with this button.
Or just edit it.
Or you can edit it, exactly. So you hit search, and now we're gonna see all of these properties over here. And I'm going to add it to cards. And save them.
So because you put my name in contacts, it automatically saved it to my name just then? Okay.
Yeah, because you go into the contacts first, you put in your contact information, then you go into the search and you save that search. Now say for example you wanted to email just this list, you click here and you click email and you go through that. Otherwise you save the search and you say, okay, I think it's not only doing it for print, it's doing it for everything. So usually you would have the name of the search come up here and you would put in the name of the search. So Peggy's future home, for example, or the Smith's family second home, or whatever it is, you put it here to make you remember, oh, here it is. So you can leave it like that, save search for Peggy Davis, and you would save it. And hopefully it'll do something. Okay, now here it'll ask you, how do you want that client to be notified? Is it through Collab Center, or is it through regular email? And you can try to do both, or you don't want them to be, but you want to be, you want to get the notifications on that. So you can set it up to how you want it, and you can do the settings here to get into it. Say for example, we're going to be looking for a year, right? So you can put your dates in here, and you can notify them on anything in that area, that price change, new match, new comment, let's see here what else they got. New match, open house if you wanted to do that, change status to let them know, hey, this went under contract, sorry, right? And you can save that. And then client notifications, you can do immediately. You can have it set up to once a week or every couple of days. In this market, I would not change this. And I would also try to stay notified on it as well, so that you also get a copy of that. Right, and here you can change the subject, so you can say, you know, what is it, was it Carolina Forest? Carolina Forest home update. You know, and then you can put your name or whatever you want. You can just make any subject up, and you can actually copy someone else on it, like a husband, a friend, whoever they want to be copied on. And you would just click OK, and that would be set up. It'll show you, and it'll show you that it will notify them through Collab Center, right? And you can change it to email, and that would be just a link. You click on the link and they see the properties, right? So if I do Collab Center, and then all that is set up, now I'm happy with everything, and I want to go ahead and send a welcome message. Okay, you can put anything in body, like, hey, this is Peggy, you know, I'm setting you up on receiving, you know, MLS updates. Let me know if you see anything you like, or I'll call you in a couple of days and check on you, whatever you want to say. And it'll automatically, immediately send them anything that changes based on these parameters. What else? And oh, with this one here, they will have to sign in. So once they get it, so let me send you this. I'm just gonna send it to you. It's just gonna have subject, and you'll see it. When you see it come up in your email, it'll say, you know, we need you to set up your username and password. So they have to set up their username and password, then log in, and then they have the chance to kind of, here it is, here's a copy of it. So it'll tell you 11 matches, and then if you want to view them, it might let us in because we're in here. Okay, here's what it's gonna look like for them. They have to put in their password, okay, and confirm it, then register, then they go in and they see these properties. This is the best way because it has a lot more information than just the email. The email is gonna look really basic, and it might not have even all the features or public information. You know, like the public remarks that we have on the listings. It might not have all that. It might have just the first maybe 4 sentences or something like that for them. All right, guys. You guys have any more questions? Anything else? All right. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.